Good morning, children. Today we are going to revise the chapter 18th century political formation. I know that we are done with this chapter, but here is an opportunity for you all to revise it once. Children, as you know, that during the first half of the 18th century, the Mughal Empire was reshaped by the emergence of new independent kingdom. By the 1765, few more powers like British had successfully grabbed the major chunks of the territory in the eastern India. After the death of Aurangzeb, it means you have studied about the Mughal emperor already, their power and the glory. You have studied in the chapter Mughal Empire, and you was knowing ki the last powerful Mughal emperor was Aurangzeb, and after his death in 1707, the Mughal empire started to decline. What was the reason? The crisis of the empire and the later Mughals. What was the reason for the crisis of the empire and the later of the Mughals? The first reason was that Aurangzeb has depleted the military and financial resource of his army by fighting a long war in the Deccan. Under his successor, the efficiency of the imperial administration broke down. It became increasingly difficult for the later Mughal emperor to keep a check on their powerful Mansabdar. As you know that during the period of the Mansabdar, there were more Mansabdars, but the Jagirs were very less. So they were in wait of, I have told you that they were in wait of, and whenever they get an opportunity to collect the revenue from their Jagirs, तो they extorted. वो एक साथ में बहुत ज़्यादा मनी कलेक्शन रेवेन्यू कलेक्शन कर लेना चाहते थे कि नेक्स्ट पता नहीं उनकी टर्न कब आए, because Mansabdar were there more in number. So this was all the affair which was going on. The Mughal emperor somehow was finding themselves, Mughal emperor was not able to manage all those conditions. The governors, subedars often control the offices of the revenue and military administration, so they becoming the powerful. It means for making a person a powerful, what are the things required? कोई भी राजा जब राजा बनता था तो उसके लिए क्या ताकत या क्या चीज़ों की ज़रूरत होती थी कि उसे लोग पावरफुल और स्ट्रॉन्ग समझते थे. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हिज वेल्थ, सेकेंडली हिज मिलिट्री. नाउ द वेल्थ एंड मिलिट्री बोथ वर इन द हैंड ऑफ सूबेदार, मनसबदार्स एंड अदर ऑफिशियल्स. This gave them extraordinary political power, military power, economic power over the vast region of the Mughal Empire, as the governor consolidate their control over the provinces. Now when they became the powerful, so they decided that we can rule independently. The period remention of the revenue of the capital decline, which resulted when the revenue was high, so the peasant and zamindar was not satisfied. They started rebel against Mughal emperor, because the taxes was mounting. They were unable to pay it. The Mughal authority had been challenged by the rebellious group in the past as well, but at that time the rulers were strong. They were able to crush or deal with all that rebels. But now the time the ruler was, you can say, not very much efficient to handle those all conditions. Now next, during all this problem, during the rebel of their own people, invasion started. In you can say 1739, Irani invader Nadir Shah sacked and plundered the city of the Delhi and took away immense amount of the wealth. This invasion was followed by series of plunders. Raid by the Afghan ruler Ahmad Shah Abdali. As you know that children, I have told you in the class that Nadir Shah when firstly came to India, Ahmad Shah Abdali was along with him. He was very much impressed with all the wealth, the weather condition of India. He invaded 5 times in India from 1748 to 1761. Already under the severe pressure from all sides, it means like the people were rebelling, Mansabdar were not in their control, military and all the money was being depleted. Already under severe pressure from all the sides, the empire was further weakened by the competition among the different group of the nobles. There were the two groups of the nobles, one from the Iranis and one from the Turanis. As you already know that in Mughal empire we have discussed that the people who came from Turkey, the people who came from Iran, they were given some high positions. They became Mansabdars. They was appointed as Subedar and Mansabdars. So the same group who were the noble of the emperor, they divided into two groups. Who had came from Iran, they became Iranis, and those who were from Turkey, Turans, they were Turanis. For a long time, the later Mughal emperor was puppet in the hand of either one or the other as the two powerful groups. It means when the king do not agree with the points or the, you can say, perspective of one noble group like Irani, and he started following the instructions, or you can say the decisions, or you can say the suggestions of the another powerful group like Turanis, so Irani started feeling bad for that. And the worst part was not only feeling the bad, they start planning conspiracy against the emperor. The worst part was that possible humiliation came when two Mughal emperor, Farooq Siyar in 1713 and 1719 and Alamgiri in 1754 and 1759 was assassinated, and two others, Ahmad Shah, it means in 1748 and 1754, and Ahmad Shah too, 1759 to 1816, were blinded by the nobles. When the emperor was not listening to them, so any of them to whom the emperor was not listening, they start planning conspiracy against the emperor, whether they kill him or you can say they used to make him blind or some other kind of mishappening, so that they can change the emperor according to their wish. They can make sit any such type of person on the emperor post or emperor place who can agree with them in all their suggestions. So these were the condition of the Mughals after Aurangzeb, which resulted the emergence of new state. So there were the three states which was being emergence. There under the category of it, we can say the broadly we can say that after in 18th century we can divide into three overlapping groups. The new states which have got into the knowledge, or you can say came into the power. The state that were old Mughal provinces like Awadh, it means earlier the state who were the part of Mughal empire before, now they consolidated their power and they became an independent state like Awadh, Bengal and Hyderabad. Although extremely powerful and quite independent, but even though they were following, they were under the Mughal empire. They were not following the instructions of the Mughal empire, but they were under the Mughal empire. It means if we take a outer look, so we will come to know ki yes, they are the part of the Mughal empire, but they were not receiving any orders from the Mughal emperor. They were ruling independently. They were taking decisions in their own state according to them. The second state had been enjoyed considerable independence under the Mughal at the Watan Jagir. Watan Jagir, you remember that at the time of Mughals, powerful Mughal rulers, the Rajputs who had accepted the authority of the Mughal, they were allowed to rule independently in their state. That was known as Watan. Now, when the Mughal were declining, they also thought to assert their power. They also thought to become independent. That if their own states are getting independent, why the Rajputs should not get the independent? So they decided to assert their power. The third, the last group included a state under the control of Marathas, Sikhs and other like the Jats. These were the different sizes and had seized their independence from the Mughal after the long drawn armed struggle. So now when we discuss the old Mughal provinces, so 3 states were being emerged. Awadh, which was being governed by Burhanul Mulk Sahadat Khan. He was appointed as a Subedar, but he asserted his power, he consolidated his power and he started ruling independently over there. The second state was, you can say, Hyderabad, which was being governed by Asaf Jahan. He was Mansabdar and he was having a good position in the court of Mughal Emperor. Mughal Emperor believed him a lot, due to which he had taken the benefit and he controlled Hyderabad. And as you all know, he was having good rank. It means like 7,000 rank he was having as an Mansabdar, right? The third province was Bengal. It was being governed by Murshid Quli Khan. Children, Murshid Quli Khan was not even Subedar, not even Mansabdar. He was a Nayab. He was an assistant of Subedar. But due to his intelligence, or you can say ruling quality, or you can say leading quality, he controlled Bengal and he dealt with all the affairs according to him. When we talk about the similarities among all these 3 states, so we can say they were all holding the control on revenue. They all changed the old appointed, you can say, governors who was being appointed by Mughal emperor. The third, it means they maintain good relationship with bankers and business persons. So like these, they were having few, you can say, similarities among them, according to which, or you can say due to which they were able to consolidate the power. Now we can say that Watan Jagir of the Rajput, earlier they were under the Mughal rule. They were ruling under the Mughal rule. They were taking all their decisions in their own areas. They were ruling independently, but under the authority of Mughal ruler. But when they saw that Mughal rulers were, it means, losing their power or losing their control in their own, you can say, working places or in the nearby states, so they started consolidating their own power. The influenced Rajputana family claimed the Subedari of the rich provinces of the Gujarat and Malwa. Raja Ajit Singh of Jodhpur held the governorship of Gujarat and Savai Jai Singh of the Amber was the governor of Malwa. These offices were renewed by Emperor Jandar Shah in 1730. They also tried to extend their territories by the seizing portion of the imperial territories and neighboring their Watan. It means now when they were becoming independent, so they thought about extending their territories. So that is why they started conquering, you can say, or annexing the state nearby them. Naghor was conquered and annexed by the house of Jodhpur, while the Ambar seized a large proportion of Bundi. Large proportion of Bundi. Savai Raja Jai Singh founded his new capital Jaipur. When the area, you can say, increased, so he had changed his capital. The new capital was Jaipur, and was given the Subedari of Agra in 1722. He also enjoyed the Subedari of Agra in 1722. Maratha campaigning into the Rajasthan from the 1740s put the severe pressure on these principalities and checked the further expansion. It means they were becoming very ambitious. They were ready to annex nearby state. So the Marathas were the one who gave, you can say, challenge, or they have checked their principalities, and they have checked, you can say, control their expansion. So this much is in the today's video, children. The further part of the chapter we are going to continue in the next video.